Hi, I'm Rob from Access TV. We're here at Diagon Alley, and this is all part of the new Harry Potter studio tour at Leavesden Studios in London. And we're going to be having a chat to some of the stars of the film to see what they make of it all. So let's check it out. Okay, so Warwick, I guess you must have spent more time in the makeup chair than quite a lot of your fellow cast members. What was the longest shift you ever put in the chair, do you think?
For the grip hook makeup, it's almost a 4-hour makeup, so that would happen every day at the beginning of each day. And then just before I went on the set, we'd pop the contact lenses in and the very sharp teeth to complete the look. And then it's about an hour to remove it. So yes, the makeup department and that chair became very familiar, as did Mr. Dudman here, who was the man who glued it all on.
Fantastic. And Nick, I guess for you, quite often when the movies come out, people will see the effects and they kind of take them for granted. And now we've got this tour and everyone can finally see, all the hard work that you and your team put in. I guess it must be quite, you must feel quite a sense of pride in that now people can finally see everything you've done on the movies. Well,
no, I'm delighted because, as you say, the whole point of a lot of what we do is that we don't attract attention. I don't want anyone looking at a makeup we did and going, gosh, isn't that clever? Because that means you're not following the story. Or indeed, if you build a creature, it's got to be part of the story. So coming on the tour is brilliant because it does mean people can see everything, including things they may have thought were digital, or things that didn't make the final cut or were just seen very, very briefly in the background. Sort of everything's in here.
And did you ever get like a request where you thought, crikey, how on earth are we going to make that? What was the most challenging thing you had to create during the
Well, you do find all the time you haven't got a clue, because when somebody says to you, can you build a giant spider, and you say yes, of course, if you haven't done it before, you haven't the slightest idea whether you can or not. You just sort of have some ideas and hope you can. The werewolf suit we built for number 3 for Azkaban was a nightmare, and we really did push what an actor could or could not do. And in the end, we had to replace a lot digitally because it was just a bridge too far. But you always strive to push things as far as you can, both in the quality of the finish and the detail and the realism that you try to impose, but also to make something so that it can be performed, and that's what we really strive for, is to make something so if Warwick's wearing a makeup, it's not masking him, it's not restricting him, it's actually augmenting him. That's what you aim for.
Cool. And for both of you, what's your favourite thing that's come out of the effects department over all of the films?
I mean, for me, it's anything to do with me. Any of my characters that I've played were all born here in this department. I think Aragog's terrific, the spider. I mean, seeing him here displayed, I mean, it's very impressive. I think people would be surprised actually how big that creation is. But there's so many things in here. And so many small things. You can walk through the tour and you can miss things. It's well worth taking your time to really just see everything.
No, I mean, I love Aragog. Buckbeak is great, and it's lovely watching kids when they suddenly realise he's turned and looked at them, And I actually like even the smaller things, as you say, the monster book, which you just don't want to get too close to. And mandrakes are great fun, as long as you've got your earphones on, you'll be all right.
Yeah, a lot of this tour was inspired when we were making the films. Visitors would come round, friends of family, etc. And you did see just the fascination and the interest people had in seeing how we created the films. And I think this is now just an extension of that, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we had 10 years of people coming round while we were building everything, just sort of staring in disbelief at things that to us are perfectly normal. But if you're constructing a fire-breathing 40-foot dragon, people noticing you doing it get quite excited.
Funny story, I was once in the creature shop just chatting to some of the people in there working on some of the mechanical creatures, etc. And a tour came through with some kids, and they were being shown some of the animatronic creations. And one of the kids looked at me and said, "Oh, turn him off, turn him off." And I'm like, "I'm real."
And, were you in makeup?
I was in makeup, yes.
And you've dressed up as some quite scary characters in your time, where you've had like Grip Hook, looks quite horrifying, but also like the Leprechaun as well. And have you ever been to the bathroom whilst in your makeup and looked at yourself in the mirror and really, frightened yourself?
I mean, it is sometimes quite uncanny seeing yourself in the mirror. I mean, especially as a character like Grip Hook, where, I do wear contact lenses and the teeth, so I look there and I'm not even seeing my own eyes looking back at me. It's like looking at somebody completely different. So that is a bit odd, but I especially had some fun with the Leprechaun makeup over the years, because we'd often be filming out on location in and around Hollywood and Las Vegas and things, and I'd be able to walk in the makeup into places where there were no cameras, but there were just people, and just to see their reaction to this creature that suddenly invaded their world was really, really fun. I was in a lift once, and a cleaner got in, and I was in the makeup, and she freaked. She wanted to get out of the lift. So I don't know what she was saying, something in Mexican, like, ah,